Hi fashion lovers, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be making this two-piece by Total Ninja Women. All right, now if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe, like the video. All right, give this video a thumbs up. Now this is one of Total Ninja Women on Instagram. This is one of her recent collection, July collection. All right, this is two-piece, a short gown and a kimono to go with it. All right, so let's go. If it is what you're interested, remember to like the video. Now for this particular dress, this is the fabric I'll be working with. Okay, the jacket, this two-piece is jacket and kimono and the fitted gown. For this video, I am making only the gown itself. All right, so this is the calculation I'm working with. Shoulder 16 divided by 2 and it gives me 8. Now my bust waist hip I divided by 4. Now let's go to my waist. I added plus 5 to my waist because of the dart intake, and every other one I did 3 3. Now your waist can be 4 plus 4 if you choose, but have it in mind this is a bustier, a strapless bustier. Okay, so and it has a stand. Okay, my half length is 17 and the gown length is 36. You can see it is short plus 1.5 inches, 37.5. Bust point nipple to nipple under bust 14. In this video we are working on the gown itself. The kimono is very easy. All right, so this pattern paper is folded into two. You know how we do it. I folded using the highest measurement. My highest measurement gave me 13.5 and this pattern paper is about 14. So what I marked first is my shoulder. You already know I always start from the beginning. All right, so as a beginner you'll be able to draft it out yourself. Now after marking my shoulder, I started marking out every other measurement, like the armhole, which I went for 8. Yeah, like the armhole 8, bust point 10.5, under bust 14 because it's a bustier, half length 17. Now the next thing is my hip line, which is 25 26. The next is my gown length. Okay, you already know the gown length is 37.5 and that is it. So I'll just go ahead and get rules, all right, and mark them properly. So I'm done marking. This is my shoulder. This is my bust point, my underbust, which is 14, shoulder to underbust, shoulder to half length, which is my waist, shoulder to hip line. So this is my gown length. All right, so I've marked out all the necessary lines. The next thing at the B, all right, I will equally mark my shoulder at the B, just to give it that basic pattern. Okay, the way we cover our armhole and all the rest. I'll just connect it straight to the shoulder. All right, now once this is done, I'll go ahead and start marking all my basic measurements. My bust, my plus sewing allowance, waist plus sewing allowance, hip plus sewing allowance. Okay, so I'm done with the marking at the hip. All right, plus my sewing allowance. Now at the gown length, I'll be taking out 1.5 inches. The hip is 10 I'll be taking out 1.5 inches from the hip, and I'll be marking that is pencil. For it to be pencil, I'll be marking 8.5. Okay, that is what I marked. Then I added my sewing allowance. Now at the gown length, I can reduce the sewing allowance to 2 inches if I choose to, or equally go with the 3 inches. Okay, so I marked 8.5. Okay, so then I'll start with the hip to connect. From the hip to the gown length, you can see to give us that pencil. All right, then from the waist. Now if you're marking, if you add +5 to your, maybe your sewing allowance on the waist is bigger and your waist is not giving you that kind of shape, you want that curved shape, do not worry. After the dart, after the padding, after the cutting and everything, it will give you the shape you need. It's just because of the excess sewing allowance that will be taken from the waist that will increase it. Now once you have done that, you come up here, go by 4 inches. Now these 4 inches I marked now, you can mark 3.5, you can mark 3, the minimum should be 3, you can equally mark 5. Now have it in mind, the neck, how do I put it, this dress, the upper part of this dress has a deep V. You can see it has a V. For you to achieve that V and for it not to be too exposing, that is why you should go higher. All right, it's more like off shoulder. Okay, but what you're taking is 4. You can take 3.5, but do not take more than 5. If you increase the V, if you put your V, it will be exposing. So once you've done that, the next thing we are doing right now is our nipple to nipple. Remember, it is 8 divided by 2, and it gave us 3.5. Sorry, 8 divided by 2 gave us 4 plus ½ inches. That is 4.5. Sorry for that. So what I'm marking all through right now is my nipple to nipple divided by 2 plus ½ inches. Okay, all through. That is what I'm marking all through to the gown length. Okay, now this particular dress, I looked at it very well, but the picture available, you can't actually tell if there is a cut on the half length or it is just cut straight the way it is. So but in this video I will be explaining if you want it to be half length, you want to cut it separately, and if you want to cut it completely. Understand me, this gown can be achieved either you cut it the way you're saying I'm doing, or there is half length, then you cut your skirt separate. Okay, so at that point, part 4 part, you take 1 inches. Okay, at that upper part you take 1 inches, and this is the connectivity part. This 1 inches connect at this point. So from your under bust, you connect to your bust point, the 1 inches. Okay, and at your upper chest, you connect 1 inches. Okay, good. So that is it. Now you connect it down to the end of the fabric. So let's get our long rule and do that. Watch me. So you can see how I'm connecting it to the down. You can see back to the line. Back to the noun. Now, if your own will be stopping at the half length, that is you're stopping here. Okay. And just like I explained, come here at that waist, take 1 inches, the same 1 inches you took at the under bust. That is the same 1 inches you should take at the waist. At the waist should be exactly 1 inches. okay, straight down this way. This particular last method is for half length. That your skirt is different, your half length is different, okay? Your upper part is different, there is joining at the waist. That is when you do this last one, okay? Now, what we'll do next is use our rule, give it about 1 inches, okay? From here, go a little bit by 1 inches before you slant this. Why am I going a little bit by 1 inches? For the neck, for us to do anything on the neck, we need to be done with the bustier before any other thing. So basically what I'll do now is take my scissors, and cut, okay? You can see how I'm cutting the bustier, all right? This is it. Now, after cutting out all the bustier darts, okay, what I just need to do is go get my, what I need to do is get the fabric, place it and cut. Then we need to equally cut the back. This back, I did not do place and cut because of the sewing allowance I added at the front is too much. So I cannot do cut, join and place and cut. Okay, so this is our front, all right? So I'm done cutting the front part of it. This is it. If you have not subscribed, subscribe guys, okay? So this is my back, all right? And the back of this dress has zip. So the first thing is to get your zip. Okay, this is my zip allowance. So the next thing, this is how you place your tape. Okay, let me zoom it. You see it. I started from the armhole. The armhole is 8. I started marking out my waist, my hip line, and my gown length. Okay, now the back of this dress, I'm not saying it, but for me, I think it will be this way. All right, these are my basic measurement. And now at the chest, I marked my bust. At the waist, I marked my now. For this back, I just used 2 inches. That is the sewing allowance I used for the back. Okay, that is the main reason I did not place it, because the allowance at the front is much. Okay, so for the back is just 2 inches and we connect. Okay, so this is my back. The back is completely strapless and the back started from the armhole depth. So that is why I placed it 8 inches ahead and cut. Now, this is my back. My front pattern, sorry, I have placed it and used tape to hold it up to give us this shape that we need. Is a bustier. It needs to give us that burst effect. That is why I sellotape it. Now once you have done that, you fold it into two the way I am folding it into two. Okay, now I'm so sorry that while I was cutting it on the fabric, I did not capture it. I didn't know it was not capturing. So that is why you didn't see me cutting it on the fabric. So I just used my tape to hold the pattern papers together to give us that bust effect. Okay, now when will you be doing this? After you must have finished padding it. If you want it padded or cup, you have to finish that. After padding, the next thing you do is when you're ready to turn your lining, you're finished joining padding. Now look at what I'm measuring. You can measure 4 the way I placed my tape. Okay, you can go 4 inches, you can go 3.5, you can go at most 4.5. Why? You can see it is not going off the shoulders. All right, then the next thing is you start from 4. We already cut out 4. Take out, this is my bust point. Check what you like. For me, I went for 7.5. Now what I marked now is my neck depth. The way we mark neck width and neck depth. And for me, I went for 3.5 and 7 inches. 7.5, sorry. You say it's not exactly 7.5. Yeah, remember, plus that 4 inches we took out initially when we were cutting. So when you add it to this one, it will give you 7.5. Now once you have indicated your V, from here, give it a little, about half inches or 1 at most. You can see, curve it the way I'm curving it back to the armhole. All right, once you have done this, you get your scissors, cut. Now I emphasize that the reason why you're 4, that first 4 off shoulder or illusion we took out initially, I said it should not exceed 4.5, at most 5. So when you cut this V that I did right now, it will not be too deep, too exposing. What this total Nigeria women is putting on is not that exposing. So you have to be careful so it does not get exposed. So this is it. You can see. Now let's go for the stand. You can see this is the stand. Okay, now for the stand, remember we cut out 4 inches the front. Okay, the back we did 8 inches. Okay, these are the illusions, all those tape, all those cut out. Total is giving us 12. Now you can cut between 12 to 14. Maybe you can add 1 inches to it, 2 inches, 3 inches, at most 4 inches. So it will not be excess. Now you start with this, attaching it to the front. So when you attach to the front, you take it to the back. Okay, so this is it. Now this is my rope, okay, or band, whichever one. It can have a small band or rope, whichever one. All right, this is it. This is how it looks. So guys, if you have any question, drop it on the comment section. Like I usually say, please try it out on the pattern paper. You can see how I use tape to hold it down. Looking at it already, it is giving me I'm on the right track. Okay, I can easily just go ahead and keep sewing. Okay, now this is it. This is the V part of it. This V is the main reason why you should not, your illusion or your half length, sorry, your off shoulder should not be too much. Like I said, start from the front. Okay, when you start from the front, you take it to the back. Any adjustment should go to the back. You see how it is? It's looking like what is on the picture already. So with this, I know I'm on the right track. I can easily keep sewing. Okay, so do drop your question on the comment section. I will respond to it ASAP. Thank you for watching.